to a year before that, where the script went through revisions and all that kind of thing. You've been on board with us for all of that journey. So people keep saying, when's it coming? When's it coming? It's coming, but, you know, you're seeing everything here. From production meetings right from the word go. This is the first time all the HODs have met today. And the core production team's been meeting already for over a year. So because we're trying to make a film that should have a budget of around 100 million for about 1/10 of that sum. So the only way we're going to be able to make it look as good, it's got to stand up to stuff like Dunkirk. We can't just say, oh, we didn't have as much money as them. Oh, well, that's not good enough. It has to be, it's going to be a different movie, and it's in the same genre, but it's a different movie. We have to be as good. We have to, our cast have to be as good in terms of quality. They might not be as big a names collectively, but they have to be as good on screen. Our production design has to be as good. Our accuracy has to be as good. You know, the tension, the script, it's all got to be as good. So to get all the things with the budget that we have takes a bit longer. It takes a bit more preparation. It takes a bit more cunning, you know. And we talked about a scene where people who were volunteering to come down and help us, and we get that a lot. There is one day when people can do that. We can do another podcast about that nearer the time. and that's the scene where everybody's queuing up to get on the planes, and the more people we can get right uniform that day, the better, because we can't afford to pay. We have got a lot of extras coming down that day. I think about 100 and 150, but really, you know, you need about 300-400 really. And on Dunkirk, I think they had about something like around 1,500, and then they had about 2,000 cardboard cutouts for people's in queue. They did. That's what they used. It's a common technique. And so they had queues of guys like holding them up in the middle. It looked really weird when people photographed it. But on screen, you won't notice. Trust me. There'll be queues that are slightly out of focus in the background between the ones in the foreground. So when people say, oh, don't use living history people, they're all over 50. Well, they won't be the guys in the foreground over 50. It'll be the young guys. Like, you know, Jake here is only 23, being in the foreground. So,
so social media for us is massive, and we massively appreciate everyone following us, everyone retweeting and liking stuff on Facebook, because it does give us a massive online presence, which boosts the film up. This is exactly what we need and what we want.
And spurns us on.
Yeah.
I mean, even the people that are being pernickety about, oh, you should do, you know, that thing this way. And, you know, a lot of those comments, even though they come across as a bit irritating sometimes, the people have got their hearts in the right place. We know that. They want to see a good movie. They don't, you know, they don't want to see something that's a bit ropey.
Or that's got something factually incorrect, especially if that's their area.
And I mean, but they also have to remember that they don't know everything. And I mean, I was pretty up to speed on this subject before I started digging into it. But it wasn't until I really started digging into it, I was like, oh, I didn't know about that, and I didn't know this, and so there's a lot of stuff I've learned. I didn't know that the bridge got attacked by a boat. That was new to me. I think I had read the Ambrose book absolutely ages ago. I didn't remember that. And then all the personal accounts in Neil Barber's book are the stuff that have been the most useful. So that was really helpful. Really helpful.
Cool. You're right about, you know, obviously people don't know everything. I'll go back to when I did reenacting. It was quite funny because I was on my own at the time when I started the group, and I was wearing my kit based on what I'd been told by the veterans who'd been there. And there's all these other reenactors, and you know, my first ever event, and all they did was look down their noses, and it was like, that's in the wrong place, that's in the wrong place. You wouldn't have that. So I went, well, this is the email from the guy who wore it for 3 years out there on 3 tours. That's how he wore it, and that's what he carried. So I'm wearing it just like they said. Sorry, pal. You know, you can.
And people did personalise their kit as well. You know, people personalised the kit and changed bits around. People do that in the army now. You don't think they did it back then?
Exactly.
You know,
they landed, they lost a lot of their kit. They didn't have it with them.
One guy moaned about the fact that we had a Mark V Sten gun on the bridge and put this big post on our thing. There weren't any Mark V Sten guns in D-Day, and we were like, really? Here's 3 pictures of them, including one of the officers from the assault on Pegasus Bridge carrying his own one. So, you know, I mean, some people do have the best of intentions, but they don't always know everything. And we are dotting the I's and crossing the T's. We ain't going to get everything right, and we've got to change some things in the timeline anyway, just because to get the film to work. Remember, it is a movie.
Yeah.
It's not
a docudrama.
It's not a docudrama. It's a movie. It's got to be entertaining. It's got to grip people. It's got to make people interested in the subject. And you know, the best you can hope for with a film like this is people get interested in the subject and they pick up the books and they go out and they buy Neil Barber's book and they get interested in the subject. They go back and they watch The Longest Day and, you know, they look at Bridge Too Far and they look at the older movies and just, think, shit, you know, there was a whole generation of people that I'm never going to have met who didn't make it. And maybe actually I owe them something. Maybe I should conduct my life in a bit of a better way. Let me put back that packet of Haribos I'm about to steal. I mean, it could transfer to the younger generation in something as simple as that. I am oversimplifying it, but
you never know. We hope.
You want to generate interest in the subject and make people respect their elders, because our elders went through quite a lot so that you and I could sit here right now.
Thank you once again, guys. That was absolutely great. Really appreciate it, especially after a long day of production meeting that he'd already gone through. So thank you very much. Hope everybody enjoyed listening to that. This has been Chris Gordon with the Pegasus Bridge on Hellblazer Beers.